do you know what? I just look at that every year, and every year it gets bigger and better. And every year I think I did the right thing, and I love that. I really love it. I can't tell you how much I love that tree. How stupid does that sound? I don't think unless you do the kind of stuff I do, you'll understand what I mean by I love it. I really do. Right, this is an update on the ash dieback on the farm. I did a couple of videos last year talking about ash dieback when I first kind of noticed it. We're a year on from about that time I did those videos, so I thought it's important to go back and see where the progression is on that. I've got Hazza with me, who currently is looking up rakes and things for me to buy. What have you found?
Oh, you wanted to buy a rake.
Well, I want to, but I kind of... Do you know what the problem is, right? Every time I say something, I kind of say it in passing. I realise you take it to heart and start researching, don't you?
I've got a good one.
What have you found me? I don't even know what I want to buy, really, but I need something to put the grass from 4 into 1. Ooh, that looks nice. What's that? What make is that?
New Holland.
How much is one of those?
It's 13.5 grand, but
how much?
Brand new.
13.5 grand?
Brand new.
Oh, that's a bit too much money. Oh, a second-hand one. Second-hand. I want about half that, I would have thought. That's quite big though, isn't it? I don't need anything massive.
No, it's not that big.
I want a little baby one that just does...
It is a baby one. I'm trying to explain. I'll tell you after.
Okay, well, let's go and have a look at these ash trees. This, by the way, this Land Rover is sounding a bit like your flipping Honda now, isn't it?
It's not sounding that
bad. Look, let me start it. Hear that?
It's not too bad.
I got a hole in the exhaust. Somewhere under there's a hole. Anyway, we're off to see these trees. Let's go. There you go. Hazza's opening the gate. Poacher deterrent there, look, because of the naughty people that come on our land. Anyway, Hazza's getting the gate open. I realise I've left this a little bit late because the ash trees, well, it's just starting to be autumn now and the leaves are starting to come down. So if I don't do this now, it's going to be definitely too late because the field maples are just going a bit of a golden hue there. Look, can you just see on there? They're just getting golden. Golden. Let's go, Az. These are the same colour as your hair, look.
I need to...
no, leave it open. See that, your hair? Look.
Yeah.
Up there, same colour. You got autumn colours, Harry. Anyway, we're going on down to see these trees. Alright, I'm going to stop here a minute. Okay, so this is probably the first tree on our farm that is almost completely dead from ash dieback. And I'm just going to spin the camera around in a minute. This is the first one I've noticed that's completely dead. I would say more or less completely dead. There is actually some life on it, but 95% of the tree is dead. And if we look here, we've got some ivy up the top, but really there's not much life on it. It's just clinging on the edges. Look, if I zoom up there is a bit of it's clinging on there, but the majority of it is dead. And I think the ivy's hiding the worst of it, really. I mean, ivy makes it look so bad. The ones next door to it don't look so bad. And we're going to go on down now. Now it's a sort of mixed story we're going to see as we go down. Harry's not at all interested in this, but might be in 20 years' time when he looks back. Is it right to say you're not really interested in the ash dieback story on this farm?
No.
I'm right. I want you, so it's 2024. I want you in 2044 to look at this video and then see what you think. You'll think differently then. You'll be old. Well, you won't be that old, will you? You'll be flipping 34.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you're going to have to look at this video in 2064. Can you promise to look at this video in 2064? You'll be the same, well, 53 then. And you can look at it and go, oh, I see what Dad was on about then. Is that all right?
Or I can go, I still don't understand what he's on about.
You might do. 2064, you'll be a different person you are now.
Maybe.
You'll probably still be carpet farming. Oh, no, you're not carpet farming anymore, are you?
No.
What farming are you doing?
Table farming.
Table farming. Well, 2064, I'm sure you'll be real farming.
Well, I hope so.
Right, let's go. So I parked up down here, and we are now back into probably where our thickest area of ash is, and this is really more synonymous of what's going on the farm. They're thinning out. So I filmed these last year. This year it's here, and there's no leaves on the ground yet. Autumn hasn't quite come, but you can see here it's just looking very sparse in the top, and then there's the odd branch that haven't got anything on. Now we're going to go, oh Harry's, we're going to go over and walk down the hedge line, because there are quite a few ash trees down there that are all the same. Hello girls, alright. So we'll start with this one. Now this one's an old one, it is quite old, and definitely wasn't ever going to be in the first flush of youth. But it's all they're all telling a very similar story. So we've got this old one here that's quite thin, but more sad really is this one here. So this one here is quite a young tree. It's a young specimen. It's not 100 years old or anything. Now, and this is what I find really interesting. I've noticed this on these trees here. They've retained their ash keys right through from last year. Now these aren't the ash keys of this autumn, these are the ash keys of last year, and normally they would have dropped by now and the new growth would have come on. But what's happening, and this seems to be a symptom of it, I find this very interesting to study what's going on. The branches are dying on the ends and the ash keys are staying on the tree. And if you look across this tree, it's hard to see because it's not a very bright day, but I can't really see very well. Up here, if I zoom up, I can just see here there's ash keys still hanging there. There's a bunch of them there, and we can see that just hanging on the edge of the branches. The branches all around it are dead, and certainly here they're dead. So the ash keys haven't fallen. And you would normally see probably a new set of ash keys on there. Harry's off checking cattle. He's just not interested in this. The ash keys have basically stayed on that tree because half of that tree is dead. Oh, look how wet it's been down here. Look at this. I know we had a lot of rain last night. Blimey. It's come right out. Look at the stream. That's a lot of rain, isn't it? That's early as well. We're only in September. Right. So we're going to go down here and look at what else has gone on. So again, we've got a similar situation here, and this year's the real year I'm really noticing the thinning. This tree fairly healthy that side, but up on the top there, look, dead patches appearing. I can only think that that's going to go the same as the rest. And then look at this, this is definitely dead, this one here. This is one I pollarded. 20 years ago I pollarded that. Look at it, completely dead. Completely dead all over. The only green is the ivy. This one again, there's some pollards here. These have thinned out. This is the main story now, I think, for me this year, is I've really noticed the thinning out of all the ash trees. They've not that many dead, but I'm noticing how thin they are now, and that's kind of really the stages they're at. Really, look, this one's showing. This is really bad. This one. Look at that. That's all dead on that side. These are young, really young shoots I left 20 years ago to grow up to make nice trees, and I liked it because it had a split. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 main trunks all going up together, and I liked that because it gave a lovely canopy. And look at it now, totally gone. And you've got this last bit on this side which is really thin. Again, the ash keys are just hanging on there, look, from last autumn. And you would expect to see the new ash keys on for this season, the green ones, but you're not seeing that. You're seeing the last year's, which is quite amazing, really. Right, let's go along here. I'm not going to go right to the end. Again, look, thinned out all the way. It's a story all the way along here, looking thin. Oh, here's Harry. We're going to go and look at his where we did a bit of a trial with the topper. Thinned out, look, dead there. You see that dead? Get off. Just headbutted me. Flipping heck. Right, and again, look. It's actually really sad. I find this, I've explained to you before how much well, you know how much I care about the trees on this farm. They've been with me all my life, these trees, and I've nurtured them. I've flipping pollarded, pollarded wasn't the right word I've used. I pollarded all of these ash trees along here when I was a young lad. Before I was YouTubing, I did them, but I pollarded every single one. I laid this entire length of hedge. And so for me to have these trees go, I'd expect some death of old age, but to see them all go, it's heartbreaking, it really is. And this one, look, very same story. Thinning out here, really noticeable. Completely dead on that side there. And then going up into the brow of it, or what do you call it, the canopy. It's half alive, half dead, but no sign of any new ash keys on it at all. Oh, we are going to go this way. So Harry, let me just interview you. Can you see the difference I'm talking about when you see these ash trees? You probably never looked at them. Hey, that's an oak tree. Have you ever looked at them and thought about them?
Ash?
Yeah, that's an ash.
Oh, it is.
Can you see how it's looking a bit skinny?
Yeah, not so many leaves on it.
Yeah. So, not sure what we're going to see in a year or two's time. Right, we're going to go. I've got some up at the farm. I have got some other ash trees that are looking a bit better. We'll have a look at those at the end of this video. But in the meantime, we're going to go and have a look at where we did our topping experiment. Shall we go through?
Yep.
Go on. Shh, shh. Come on. Shh. Get out. Go on. Shh, shh. Ooh. Go on. Shh. Shh. All right. Ooh. It's greened up in here, nice. Ooh. Let's climb over.
Perfect for
I don't open the gate because the cows are trying to force their way through. All right.
Yep.
Right.
They'll love it in here.
They will love it in here. Right. Oh, it's greened up a lot. Right. So, how long ago did we do this?
Over a week ago.
Oh, it was over a week, must
2
be.
weeks ago?
2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
I'd say 2.
I'd say
2. It was 2.
probably, well,
It was a week before I went back to school.
week before you
2
went.
weeks ago.
2 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, Harry topped this. Here's a little bit of hazard topping. So that was 2 weeks ago, and what I said at the time was, let's leave a strip in the middle and see whether there's a difference between the bit you topped for recovery and the bit that you didn't top. So we're walking over to the bit we didn't top, and we're going to see whether it was achievable. So look, you can see all the dead grass in the bottom of it, which is sort of manky dead grass, which wasn't very nice. And then we're going to go and see the bit.
See it already.
I can see the difference, can you? There's a definite noticeable difference, isn't there? Nice bit of clover in here. Right.
Here it is.
So, yeah, can you see it? You can see a definite
Difference there.
But the thing, what my question is, have we achieved anything? Is it
I'd say it was better to top it, yeah.
I'm not entirely convinced. I think it's tidied it up,
I think it was good.
but there's longer bits of grass in it, isn't there? Look.
Yeah, but there's still quite a lot of
Those longer
old
bits.
stalky bits in it.
There is a lot of old stalky bits.
Which they won't like.
But if we go, oh, there's a fair amount of longer bits.
Yeah,
There.
It's come back quite long already.
I just wonder whether it was better left to
I think
top it a little bit later.
I think it was good.
Do you? Well, you just say that because you like driving the tractor,
No.
though.
I think it was good because, like, it's basically the same height,
Hmm.
but in this side, you get more fresh grass rather
True.
than stalky, manky.
Perhaps you're right. I mean,
I am.
Okay. Harry. Oh, my farm managers. Just remember this. You're probably aware of this, and I'm very aware of this. My farm manager is always right now, and I've got to remember that, am I, Harry?
Yep.
To be fair, you are doing almost like a college course by what you find out on YouTube from all different YouTubing farmers, don't you? You know, it's really interesting. I find that people say kids spend too long, like long online and stuff. Well, I think that can be true, but a lot of it depends what you're doing with your time online. Now, Harry has spent a lot of time watching other farming YouTube channels. Don't watch mine, do you?
Sometimes.
You do watch mine?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, blimey, I didn't know you
I
watched
like
me.
watching the old ones.
Do you? Well, you're on them with really young kids, aren't you?
Yeah, but I like
Yeah.
seeing the old cows,
Right,
which are like
yeah.
10 years.
But if you watch, who else do you watch?
Tom Pemberton.
Tom Pemberton, Obs. Who else?
Sometimes I watch I Farm, We Farm.
I Farm, We Farm, he's a good chap.
Yeah. I do some
Hello, I Farm, We Farm, we love him.
Ian Pullen sometimes.
Ian Pullen, yeah. Who else? Anyone else? One more?
Farmer Phil I do.
Farmer Phil. There you go. But if you do watch them, you know, online stuff like that, you do pick up a lot. You've taught me quite a lot by what you've watched and learned.
Yeah, because
You were on about
You
Tom
were
Pemberton and his orange peel the other day. And what's that other stuff he uses for the cows?
Selco.
Selco. I need to find out about that. I don't even know what that is.
I think we should use it.
I thought it was a place in Spain.
But also, we were in the milking pile and you said, "Oh, I found this 4-rotor rake."
Yeah, all right, yeah, right.
Turns out
Cut.
it wasn't 4
Wasn't a rake,
rotors. It
all
was
right, okay.
6.
Six.
Turns out it wasn't.
Wasn't a rake.
It was a tedder,
Yeah.
and he still thinks that hay bob.
I was just
It's
seeing
the
if
same
you. I
as
was
like
just
a-
seeing if you're awake.
No, you still
Quick,
think.
cut. You're grassing
like-
me up here. I'm supposed to be the.
Well, you're not
I
an
don't know what I'm supposed to be actually.
Not the expert.
I'm not the expert. Anyway, when we start in this guinea pig farm,
Oh, we're not doing that.
come on,
No.
guinea pig bacon. It's got to be the future. We could do guinea pig sausages. Would you buy a guinea pig
We're
sausage?
gonna do pigs again.
We're going to do pigs again. I'm thinking if Harry does pigs, I could do guinea pigs.
Yeah, but
I could do really tiny little boxes of guinea pig bacon.
what would you rather have? A farmer
you
has
have?
a pig meat box or a Funky Farmer guinea pig box?
Funky Farmer guinea pig. What would you? I mean, like a teeny little frying pan, as opposed to Harry's massive sausage. Anyway, Harry, you were going to do Farmer has a pork boxes, weren't you?
Yeah.
What do you think about that idea? Would anyone buy a Farmer has a pork box if he did
It'd
it?
have like 10 sausages in
Yeah.
it.
Don't
and
plan
have-
ahead until we know what that will all cost.
Basically,
isn't
it wouldn't have one thing, it'd have just multiple
it?
different
Yeah,
cuts.
guinea pig bacon.
Not guinea pig.
Why not?
Because you would get ridiculously no meat.
Maybe this is something that we're missing out on. Maybe the world needs guinea pig bacon
I don't think anybody
or
does.
sausages. Anyway, come back, Harry. Why would you be doing guinea pig? Oh, sorry, you're not doing guinea pig bacon. I'm sorry. Guinea
boxes.
pig bacon. Why would you do pig boxes? Harry's pork boxes. Farmer has a pork boxes. Why would you do that?
Last year we did
What's
this
your
one.
main aim?
Last year we did pigs and I really enjoyed, so that's one of the reasons. I wanted to do some
But
more
what
pigs.
is the main aim? Why would you do it? What would you use
Also,
the money
I'm
for?
hoping
Tell
with
the-
the money I can hopefully someday afford my Ford tractor.
There you go.
Or some sheep. You love sheep.
Or a guinea pig farm.
Oh no. Or more pigs.
Yes. I reckon
Probably
Clarkson, Jeremy Clarkson's next series, he's going to start guinea pig farming. You'll watch it and you'll go, Dad was right. We should have done the guinea pig farm with the guinea pig bacon.
Okay, so we should get some goats then.
Goats? What do you want goats
He's
for?
got goats.
How do you jump from guinea pigs to goats?
They got
Yeah, but
4 legs.
how well did he get on with goats? How well did he get on with goats?
Moving on.
Didn't do very well, did he? See, the guinea pig bacon would be easy. You could have tiny little guinea pig hutches, and then you could have a guinea pig. You could sell the guinea pig bacon frying pans, little tiny frying pans. No?
Nobody would buy them.
All right. Well, maybe we'll stick with Harry's.
Pig boxes.
Farmer has a pork boxes coming at some point.
End of next year, probably.
He's a bit optimistic on timing because all that means is I got loads of work. Right. Anyway, we're going to sum up
If
here.
we get them at the beginning of the year, then they should be done for
No,
about...
big, isn't it? They'd be too fat. You need to get them. They only keep them for about 4 months.
No, you get them at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like last year.
Yeah.
So in about May.
That's not the beginning of the year. January's the
Oh,
beginning. of the year.
I don't know. And then
I'm just kidding.
they'll probably be ready by October time. With
Yeah.
about last time.
And we could do the guinea pig
So
boxes
they'd be perfect
alongside
for Christmas. So you could have them
Christmas.
you could have
You got this all
you
thought
could
out,
have a
haven't
farmer
you?
has a Christmas box.
Wow, I didn't know you thought all this through. And what you're going to do, so farmer has a mistletoe bunches with it as well, and farmer
No.
has a greetings cards. And
Well, if there's some near Christmas, then I'll do something special.
right, okay.
But I'll just mainly do.
I'm just thinking, oh my god, this is loads of work for me.
No.
This is why you need to look
I
back.
think
Harry, this
it'd
is
be
definitely
perfect.
why you need to look back on this video in 2064 and realize, because by then you'll probably have your own kids. I'll be long gone. I'll be a donut under the ground somewhere, and your kids will be going, Dad, can I have a guinea pig farm? And you'll go, no, it's a rubbish idea because my dad's
Yeah,
not doing that.
no, because guinea
Oh.
pigs are rubbish.
No, you say,
to
oh yeah,
farm.
Dad was right. We made a
But we
fortune
can
on the
get
guinea pig.
pigs.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, or
If you're,
some
so if you're Harry's kids watching this video in 2064,
buy pigs
buy pigs
and sheep
and sheep
and cows.
and donkeys and goats and right. We're heading back. I'm just going to finish this off by just showing you a couple of ash trees that I so far don't seem to have ash dieback, and we're going to have a look at those because I don't know what's going on with those. Right, let's crack on. No, I'm just walking back and I'm just giving you another. This is even more of a classic example of the ash dieback, just affecting the ends of the branches so far. And look at it, it's covered in the ash keys from last year. And this is a big old ash tree going on up. Didn't look so bad from the other side, but from this side you can see how it's affected completely. Look, ash tree keys all the way up on these branches, all the way up. All of them, look, quite a covering, but they've not fallen off because I presume that the branch is dead. Well, it is dead. It's obviously dead. Look, completely dead. And because of that, there's no sap or anything to push them on, and then produce the next lot of ash keys. So next year they might be gone, and then significantly more of this tree will be gone. I think, you know, I'm going to keep doing these videos on these ash trees until I can really see a clearer picture. At the moment I've got a kind of 60% view of what's going on, and I'd say 90% of the trees in this lower part of the farm are affected, but there's a couple that don't look too bad. They're over there, but there's some up at the farm as well, up by near the house, that don't seem to be affected. They're younger ones, but we'll go and have a look at those because I'm wondering whether there are a few resistant ones, and I'm praying that at least on the farm we might get a few that survive. I imagine this is very similar to what happened in the early 70s when Dutch elm disease came through here, in the fact that the picture of Dutch elm disease probably didn't become clear for the first few years, and it could well be like this in the fact that maybe some of the ones that are slightly weaker get affected by the disease earlier, and then what you find is in a couple of years time the rest of the ash trees get it. I mean, like I said, I was too young to remember the elm disease coming to the farm. I can just remember the aftermath when my dad was cutting down the trees, and it's a shame he's not alive now to know how he saw it affect the trees when they first arrived. And I imagine this is a very similar experience to what he experienced in those early days, in the fact that he probably walked out into the fields and started seeing the elm trees die around him. And I have this very same impact. This is kind of unbelievable, really, isn't it? History repeating itself. 40 plus, more than 40 years now, 50 plus years after my dad experienced the Dutch elm disease arrive on the farm, I'm experiencing the ash dieback arriving. Horrific. I really hope that I get some survivors. If I can get some survivors, at least there's a hope that I can take the ash keys off those and maybe replant some and try and regenerate some of the ash, because I don't know what will happen otherwise. I hope it's not like the elm in the fact that forever there's just no more elm trees. You know the story with Dutch elm disease. They last till they get to about 30 foot and then they get it because they're all genetically identical. The only hope with ash trees is that they're not genetically identical. Elm runs on a sucker and ash run, as you saw, on those seeds on the branches. So there is a hope that there'll be some different genetics there in some of the plants. Right, let's go and have a look at the better ones. Right, I just thought, rather than going back up the farm, I thought, I will look at the trees down here that look okay, because they're all in the same area, so we might as well take in what doesn't seem to be affected, and I just don't know what's going on. It's either not affected or I've not noticed. And I'll spin it around here. So there's an example here. So that's sort of 50% loss of canopy. This one seems okay so far. These shoots here don't seem to be affected. Oh, hang on, I spoke too soon. I can just see on the very tip of that one some wilting. You can see that. Look. Early stages. That is really the start of it. The leaves have wilted on that one. Let's go along here, I think, and then after that I might look up the farm if I can't find anything that looks like it's going to survive. Oh God, please God, don't let me lose this lot. Oh, yeah, I can see dead branches there. Right, what's going on? Right. Oh my God, look, it's just a lovely area where of green, and there's some oak in here, and then there's the ash, and there's some elder. And it's a lovely green canopy, and then I think there'd be gaps at some point. Horrendous. And there must have been elm in these hedges at one point as well. So this one, yeah, this one looks remarkably unaffected. I can't see any sign of any ash dieback. There is one branch there, but that looks to me maybe historic. I don't know whether that one is potentially a survivor, or is it just I've just missed something. I'll have a look at the farm and the rest of the trees as well. Anyway, we'll get back. Right, last little bit of the ash dieback story here. I'm just going to see an ash tree that I basically created. I always say 20 years ago because I lose track of the days and time. You know, when you've been here as long as that, you can't remember whether it's 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. Probably about 20, because I think it was when I started hedge trimming, doing it myself, because we used to pay a contract to do our hedge trimming. And probably 20 years ago, when I was keen like Harry, I was a lot older than Harry is, but you know, when I was keener than I am now necessarily, I decided to do the hedge trimming myself, which was actually a good idea because it saved a lot of money in the long term. And also, it gave me the chance to actually, when I'm going through the hedge, look at the trees and stuff and think whether I can create a tree. So I'm going to spin it around now. This is an ash tree which I created. Now when I say created, what it was is this is a mostly elm hedge actually. If you look at this, if you know anything, I try to get the boys interested, but they're not. This is elm. This is what I was on about, Dutch elm disease. So while it stays in this state, Dutch elm disease doesn't affect it that much. Once you let that grow on up into tree, the tree is what gets the Dutch elm disease when it gets to about 30 foot high. Anyway, this ash tree here was a little sapling like those elms, and I literally trimmed along here one day and left it. And 25 years later, we've got this. Now at the moment, I can't see any ash dieback on it. I'm not sure. I'm worried about this because that's when it really hits home, in the fact that those ash trees that we saw down the bottom fields, they've been there for years, but they were always old and nothing new. But this is something that I created. I actually, without my intervention in the hedge, this tree wouldn't be there. And it's just becoming a decent size. Look at it. That is 30 foot high, and I love it. I just love the fact that it wasn't there before. It's a bit of a landmark. It's by the road, so people drive along, probably annoyed if their branches touch them. But do you know what? I just look at that every year, and every year it gets bigger and better. And every year I think I did the right thing, and I love that. I really love it. I can't tell you how much I love that tree. How stupid does that sound? I don't think unless you do the kind of stuff I do, you'll understand what I mean by I love it. I really do. I love the fact, I just love it. I see it in the spring when it becomes, you know, starts budding, and then you see the leaves grow. And the fact that I've seen it from this little, it's almost like a child. Does that sound stupid? It's almost like a child. I've created this little stem, and then I've made sure I've pruned it up over the years. I've trimmed them, and now it's quite a nice size. And give it another 40 years, it will be like those big trees down the bottom. So where's that going? Where is that going? Is it resistant? Is it just that it's young, it's got a bit of vigour, it's still alive? I don't know. Maybe ash dieback affects the older trees first. There is another ash tree, an old ash tree over there that seems to be okay. Whether that's, I mean, what I'm hoping maybe is that this one here originally came from that one there. And maybe, just maybe, it's got some sort of resistance. Anyway, I said I'm going to keep doing these videos. It's a bit of a follow-on story. This isn't over in 1 year, is it? So stick with me. We'll keep seeing what the ash trees are like down there. Some of you will be like Harry. Some of you probably switched off 5 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago because you're not interested in this story of ash dieback. It's just trees. Harry wants to look at tractors. I understand that. I get that. But this, to me, is my history and the farm's history, so I will record it. In the meantime, also on the farm history is these trees while we're walking back down. So I planted this orchard in 2010 and they're just starting to look good. So this was an old orchard and now it's a new orchard. No, this is probably one of the better ones. This is an Ashmead kernel and I'm not sure whether they're quite ripe yet. But these are lovely apples, recommended if you're looking for an apple. So I'm going to finish on this note. Ashmead kernels, look them up, they are really good. Have a really good time. Tell me if you follow some ash trees around in your area. This is a project we can all do. Maybe get your kids interested in trees if you can do that, and get them to go and look at ash trees and maybe look at a bunch of them and see which ones are affected, and see if you can. What I'd really like to know is if any of you seen any that show any sign of resistance. Maybe you've seen a large wood and you've seen 1 or 2 in it that haven't died. And this is the thing about rushing to clear these trees. I think you've got to hold on a little bit because you could have a wood with 100 ash trees and maybe there's just one left that's okay. So if any of you have actually seen any ash trees that are resistant to ash dieback, let me know. I'd love to know. On that note, anyway, I'm going to enjoy my apple, crack on, we'll keep up with this. All right, cheers, crack on, crunch on.